I'm a little bit confused about this new mask guidance. First of all, as I understand it, masks protect others from being infected by the mask wearer. And secondly, studies have shown that there is a lack of efficacy against variants with just one dose of vaccine. You're only 30% protected. So why invite the transmission of variants by removing the mask requirement?
Yeah, I think there's a number of issues that you've talked about there. And yes, masks do protect others, but our risk goes down dramatically after 2 doses of vaccine. And that's why we're talking about the importance of continuing to wear masks in indoor public spaces when we are not fully vaccinated. And that's important. But we also know that we have done a great job at decreasing transmission of the virus in this province. So we are not seeing widespread of any of the strains of the virus right now. So when transmission is low and immunization is high, even with a single dose of vaccine, our protection is high enough that we no longer need some of the restrictive measures. We have always had a series of layers of protection, and we always know that the last layer of protection, our personal protective equipment, a mask, is the last layer of protection. And there are many other things that we do. Most important is having low rates of transmission in our communities. And when we put the mask mandate in place, it was because we were seeing widespread transmission in the community and we didn't know who was at risk and who wasn't. It was very difficult to tell, and that's how we saw outbreaks in workplaces and all kinds of places. But we're now at a point where we know where most of the cases are, and we will continue to manage every single case as we have been doing. And right now, as you can see by the numbers of active cases, most of the people who are developing the disease are known contacts of a case. So we're not out of the woods by any means, and we are going to continue to have adequate surveillance and all across the province and making sure we're following cases and following which strains of the virus people are being infected with. But we also know that when you have high rates of protection, particularly if we compare, for example, the UK and what we have here, we have very high rates of protection in younger people compared to what they have in the UK. So that level of protection reduces your risk dramatically, and I showed some of that data yesterday, and it means that your risk of, 1, getting infected, and 2, passing it on to somebody else goes down dramatically, regardless of what strain we're talking about. So yes, we're going to continue to watch, but right now we're in a place where we can start to get back together again. And that includes wearing masks in indoor public spaces for the next little while until we're fully protected.
We heard a lot of concerns when the mask mandate wasn't in place yet around people who would not listen to guidance. When stores posted signs saying it's recommended and people refused to because they said it's not against the law. What should a business do now if someone refuses to put on a mask when it's only recommended?
Yeah, I think I'll ask Minister Callon to talk to this, because these are some of the discussions we've had. And, you know, I think we've come a long way since then, too. People have recognized the importance of the things that we do to protect ourselves and others. And we've come to accept and understand where masks are used. And I think there's a comfort level now that may not have been there at that period of time. But yes, we are going to be working with businesses to make sure that we can do this in ways that are respectful and safe for workers in particular. And that is the thing. And there's some businesses, I mean, look at healthcare, where mask wearing is part of our requirements on a day-to-day basis, and that won't change either. So I ask people to support businesses to protect their workers and to live up to the requirements that they have.
Yeah, so we were, when we started to put the plan together, the restart plan, one of the things that was clear from the business community that we wanted certainty in the restart plan. And so over 7 weeks ago, we were able to provide them the restart plan that shows them clearly that in step 3, when we get to step 3, which is today, that the mask mandatory would go to recommendation. So we have provided a lot of advance notice for businesses to prepare for this. But as I made a comment earlier, this will be a challenge still for businesses. And so we're asking for people to be patient and respect the rules of the local business. We had some businesses who had challenges even when it was mandatory, where people didn't want to follow the rules. And certainly the conversations we've been having with our industry engagement table about the next steps is that there will be some challenges. Every business will decide what they want to do, how much comfort that their patrons would like and how much comfort that they have on their steps forward. But overall, we've been getting a positive response of where we go. And in the next few days, we're going to continue to engage with businesses on what challenges may arise as we proceed.